Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're going to talk about the Ruger MkIV 22 long rifle pistol. So today we're talking about the Ruger MkIV 22 long rifle pistol. This is the continuation of the Mark series in Ruger, and this one is by far the easiest one to take apart and work on for cleaning purposes, that kind of stuff. I have in front of you here a MkIV Tactical, and it is the 2245, which means the grip is a little higher. So for example, I have a Ruger Mark II here, and you can see how steep that grip angle is compared to this guy. So this is more of an old style. They still do make this, but the 2245 is this style here. So we'll do a future video on the Mark II. But back to the Mark IV. So, tactical version has a rail on top and bottom. As you can see, I have a Vortex Venom red dot on there, which is really nice. The sights on top are adjustable. I did tweak that when I first got it and got the iron sights zeroed to where I like it before I added the red dot. So if I need to take that red dot off, I know my iron sights are on. They do make other options. You can get like a fiber optic front sight for it and things like that. So these things are pretty accessory friendly, and I was doing a little bit of looking around online. Things like Tactical Solutions, Tandem Cross, Volkortzen, and Apex all make accessories for it, be it things like my little decocker or my little cocker back here from Tactical Solutions. So you can do that, which is, you know, it's not terrible. Normally you just have it like that. And it's not bad. Like, it works very well. You just kind of grab onto it on either side. You can see there's a little groove there for your fingers to go in. But this little Tactical Solutions decocker for the, I don't know, maybe 20 bucks that it is. It's really nice. I like that. But yeah, the rest of the accessories, like I said, this thing, you can put a whole bunch of different things on it. Triggers, different bolts for it, different barrels. Some are integrally suppressed, some are not. You can change out the grips on there. With something like the Apex trigger, it does remove the magazine disconnect, which this one has, so if the magazine isn't in it, you cannot fire it. So you have to have the magazine in to fire it. So there's kind of your quick overview. Now we'll get into some details on the gun itself. As you can see, this is the tactical version. They make a black one, and they make the tactical. I like the flat dark earth look. So to talk about the grip itself of the gun, it does have a good series of checkered grips on the sides of it. Also the front and back of it have good checkering on it as well, so you get a nice grip on it. Pretty high beaver tail, decent undercut. It's got a pretty big grip on it, so you can easily get a hold of it, get your fingers on there, get a nice good hold. Magazine release is only on the left side. 10-round magazines. It does come with 2 in the box. Now the safety on it is ambidextrous. Got it on either side. Slide lock is only on the left side, so it's more geared towards right-handed shooters, but if you're a lefty, I'm sure you'll be able to make it do. So, pretty straightforward on the bottom there. It does have a rail up front for lights, lasers, whatever fun accessories you want to put there. And so from Ruger, they recommend if you want to do dry fire, you can dry fire these, but they recommend getting a set of snap caps if you're going to do it a lot. So, I will do it now just so you can see. And like I said, magazine is empty, but you have to have the magazine in it to pull the trigger. So, charge it again. And trigger. So, see, you got a little bit of take up there. Hits that wall. Little creep. Break. And a short reset. There. So, pretty nice trigger on it. You know, pretty straightforward. It's nothing too crazy. And for the top of it, the nice thing about the Mark IV is that you can easily take this gun apart. So I've heard kind of horror stories about the Mark IIIs, and I personally have not torn apart my Mark II. So I can't tell you a lot about those ones, but the Mark IV is very simple. With it charged, you can then reach in here and push this little button in the back, pop off the top. There's your grip. There's your gun. Pull it apart. Very straightforward. Very simple, easy to clean, lubricate, prepare to use. So, super simple, easy to take down, even with the front rail, which can be kind of a pain to get it back in there sometimes. Fairly simple. And the nice thing about the Tactical is it is a threaded barrel. And that was kind of why I wanted this one, because I was looking to get a 22 long rifle suppressor, and I went with a Q El Camino. So just take off the thread protectors there, And then thread on your silencer. Suppressor, silencer, whisper pickle, whatever you want to call it. Silencer's on the patent. Technically, it seems like it suppresses the noise more than anything. It's essentially a nice muffler. With the new e-file forms, that kind of stuff, the suppressors seem like they're getting down there. I recently purchased one from Shields, local to me, and they said they're seeing 90 to 100 days on a return on that, which is a far cry from the 9 to 16 months people were seeing. I believe when I got this one, which was just the paperwork, the traditional style, it took me 9 or 10 months to get this back. So, if you have thought about getting a silencer, it is one of the best upgrades you can buy. The nice thing with this Q El Camino, which I've liked quite a bit, is that obviously it's user serviceable, which is good for 22 long rifle. You just simply take off the cap on the end here, and then you can take the baffles out and clean them. This can here does 22 long rifle, 17 HMR, and 5.7 by 28. So I would like to add a 5.7 by 28 pistol in my collection at some point, and then hopefully be able to suppress it and have some fun with it. So the nice thing about the Ruger Mark series is they still make a bunch of them. Guns like the Gen 2 that I showed you are now in the Mark 4 category, and they still have that old grip angle, but they have the easy takedown of the Mark 4 does versus a Mark 2 or a Mark 3. So in that you can still get a standard, target, hunter, competition, or tactical model. In the 2245, which is this grip angle here, you can get the 2245, 2245 light, and the 2245 tactical. Going through some of those specs, I was looking at the weights of some of those guns, and honestly, the 2245 tactical is actually on the lighter end of those in the weight department. A standard Mark IV is 30 ounces. The 2245 tactical is 33.3 ounces. The 2245 light is 25, and that's the lightest of them. All the other ones are 34.5 ounces or heavier. Now, some of those are the hunter, competition, guns that are designed for precision, which has helps mitigate recoil by being heavier. But honestly, if you throw their suppressor on this thing, and I mean, they're 22 long rifles, so the recoil really isn't that much to begin with. But if you're a precision shooter and you want to use that, those are good ones to have. But this thing honestly has been great to shoot. The Vortex Venom red dot on there is fantastic. I really like that. I'll take the can off real quick so we can get a better camera angle on this gun. Yeah, and this version of the Venom is a 3 MOA red dot. So it's really nice. Don't know if we'll be able to see it through there. There it is. So I really enjoy it. It's been a really solid red dot, and I've liked it a bunch. Just gonna turn it off real quick. So yeah, Ruger Mark IV. I figured after doing last week's video on a gun that I have a love-hate relationship with, I thought I'd do something that I actually truly enjoy. And if you're looking for a 22 pistol, this is one of them. Now they're between $400 and $500 depending on what model you're going to get. I'm sure some of the hunters and the competitions are more expensive, but if you're looking for just a standard or the 2245 light or this guy, they're between $400 and $500. Like I said before, there's a bunch of accessories for them. Things like this Tactisol racker, Apex trigger you could get. My buddy actually has that in his. The nice thing about that is it actually eliminates the magazine disconnect. So this one still has that because I haven't done anything fancy to it like that. I've still have the stock trigger in it. But if you do things like the Apex trigger, then you get rid of that magazine disconnect if you like that. Yeah, all around, it's a really solid gun, and I enjoy it. I've shot it a lot, and I look forward to continuing to shoot it. Like I said, those sounds are on there. You're going to have fun all day long, and very solid option. So, a couple of things I just wanted to touch on real quick. Mark and I talked a little bit, and I just want to let you guys know that whenever we do a review on a gun, if this, continuing in the future, if people send us guns or optics or anything, we will always be honest with you and disclose things like that. And just, I don't care how much, if somebody gives you a gun, I'm going to do an honest review on it. And Mark and I kind of agreed on that, where you can't buy us. You can send us guns, you can send us things like that if we get big enough and people want to do that, awesome. But I will always tell you if I like or dislike a gun. I would never have you spend your hard-earned money on a gun that I lied to you about, and I'd feel terrible, and that's just not my thing. The other thing, too, is places or people like Mr. Guns and Gear, Guns and Gadgets, the Gun Collective. I recommend you follow them. Garand Thumb, Brandon Herrera, guys like that. If you're into gun content and you're not following those people, you really should. They have great information, way sexier guns than I have right now, and just all around good follows, good information. Kind of lets you know where the Second Amendment community is going and what we are facing legislation-wise, and just, they have a lot of good information, fun stuff, but also the more serious side of things. So if you're not following those guys, you should. I'll throw some of their links in this description on this video. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. Like, share, subscribe. We will see you on the next video. And if you're thinking about buying a Mark IV, do it.